Everyone is panicking about cryptocurrency. We're going to unpack what's happening for you by looking at a different market crash. So let's go back to January 2009. President Obama had just been inaugurated and the world was reeling from the 2008 financial crisis. The banks, which caused all of this, were only saved by a taxpayer-funded government bailout. That made a wide variety of people very unhappy.
I simply do not want to bail out Wall Street with taxpayers paying the bill.
That same month, the very first block of Bitcoin was released by the pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto, with this cryptic message in the code. The Times, 3rd of January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. A clear sign, cryptocurrency was created, at least in part, as a reaction to the financial crisis and bailouts. At the time, progressives and crypto folks seemed to agree. Traditional financial institutions created a corrupt system that benefited a small set of wealthy elites and excluded the rest of society. But they were split in how they responded. Progressives are fighting an uphill battle for more regulation on banks, less wealth concentration, and reasonable checks on the power of the financial industry that created this crisis. Meanwhile, cryptocurrency advocates believe the solution is less government and less regulation, so they simply built a parallel financial industry. And they did it all while promising working-class investors supercharged returns in a fairer, more equitable financial system where anyone could get ahead. But today, crypto is a mirror of the risky, unregulated system that caused the 2008 collapse.
Major financial institutions have teetered on the edge of collapse.
Crypto collapsed over the weekend.
Every day they're pounding it. Crypto, it got crushed again on Monday.
Almost 1 out of 4 mortgage holders in this country are now underwater.
40% of Bitcoin investors are now underwater.
How did we get here? And who does cryptocurrency really benefit? I'm Münecat, and this is the classroom from More Perfect Union. Imagine the wild neon of a casino advertising a new slot machine that guaranteed you wins with little risk. But inside the slot machine, you're secretly gambling on the housing of millions of Americans. As early as the 1970s, the financial industry was selling the opportunity to invest in mortgage-backed derivatives, a so-called financial innovation that would one day crash and bring the entire economy down with it. Mortgage-backed derivatives are just one of the many non-traditional investment opportunities that made up a vast shadow banking system. Even the most savvy, experienced, money-hungry investors in the world believed these investments were worth trillions of dollars. And they sold that optimism to the American working class so that they would bring all of their money to the Wall Street casino. And the whole scam was enabled by the government. Congress repeatedly chose not to regulate the shadow banking world or limit its overlap with the real economy. Which takes us back to 2008.
It was a record amount, $700 billion to rescue the country's failing banks.
On the left, this brought about a nationwide movement to restrict the banks through democratic people power. But another plan was brewing. On Halloween 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto sent out an email to a cryptographer's mailing list. I've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer. Attached was the Bitcoin white paper. In a series of replies with curious cryptographers, Satoshi revealed some potential economic political philosophy. Bitcoin is very attractive to the libertarian viewpoint if we can explain it properly. Governments are good at cutting the heads off centrally controlled networks, but pure peer-to-peer networks seem to be holding their own. That's in line with the philosophy of Tim May, an influential cryptographer and pioneer of crypto anarchy, using tech to defend individual freedom against government interference. May has been widely cited as an influence on Bitcoin. Satoshi's white paper cites an essay by another cryptographer, Wei Dai, which opens with, I am fascinated by Tim May's crypto anarchy. In crypto anarchy, the government is not temporarily destroyed, but permanently forbidden. Bitcoin emerged from the crypto anarchy community, building on ideas from its progenitors and adherents. We don't know who Satoshi is, and we don't know their political goals, if any. But from the bits that we can see among crypto pioneers, the response to the barely accountable and barely regulated financial system crashing was less accountability and less regulation. Crypto presents itself as a decentralization, something that offers open access to all, equally and equitably. But in reality, cryptocurrency is looking a lot like the unregulated shadow banking system that it was supposed to counter. Again, like 2008, the people that come out ahead will be a small group of elites, like billionaire PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel. He has invested in cryptocurrency exchange startups, blockchain apps, and of course, plenty of actual crypto. Thiel shares some of that anti-democracy Tim May philosophy, selling fascism under the guise of freedom. In 2009, Thiel wrote a piece where he said, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible." And said of voting, the extension of the franchise to women had made it impossible to have a capitalist democracy. Speaking of PayPal, let's look at the other founder.
My hope for, crypto in general is that money has less error. Where, like I said, error is like any kind of government interference or fraud or anything like that. Government is just a corporation in the limit. If you don't like corporations, you should really hate government.
Again, Elon is saying don't give power to the government, give it to the corporate elite. Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey has chimed in as well.
When I saw Bitcoin in 2009, you see a chance to replace the whole foundation.
And Mark Zuckerberg's sister Randy really likes crypto. Oligarchs like Thiel, Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and the Zuckerbergs are supportive of cryptocurrency because it's part of the long-term project to keep billionaires free from public accountability, with power centralized in their cabal. And they want you to pay for it. The industry has been making a massive push to get working people to invest in their new economy.
Old money's not going to pick us up. It's systematically oppression.
You want to miss out on the crypto revolution?
Don't miss your opportunity.
Change your life.
Fortune favors the brave.
Remember the Super Bowl? The industry spent tens of millions of dollars on ads for a broadcast over 200 million people watched. Crypto acolytes have a line, "We're all going to make it," meant to suggest that crypto investors will all ride the market to the top. But the reality is 0.01% of all Bitcoin holders hold 27% of all Bitcoin available, worth $232 billion. That's 100 times worse wealth concentration than the regular economy. And it's being hoarded too. 75% of Bitcoin is illiquid, meaning it hasn't been moved in a long time. The top cryptocurrency exchanges, venture capital-backed tech companies that act as middlemen between working people and this supposedly open economy, hold a large portion of all available assets. These exchanges are backed by the same folks as the last system, the Goldman Sachs and Bains of the world, private equity, financial services firms, the big banks. If the financial institutions were a giant corrupt casino, then the crypto pioneers didn't try to change or destroy it, they simply built another one next door. And the ad blitz is working. 16% of Americans own or have owned cryptocurrency. In a country where 64% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, it makes sense that so many working people are finding hope in these big promises. If crypto crashes, it's working people, convinced to gamble, that will lose their money. Just like in a casino, people pour their money in, lose it all, and it's funneled to the top. But hey, maybe we're completely wrong. Blockchain, the tech that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are built on, could be revolutionary. New tech always has skeptics and detractors. So let's look at the last time the internet was revolutionized. People are calling blockchain-fueled tech Web 3.0. Web 2.0 was also sold as a democratization at the time, a move from the internet being controlled by domain owners to user-generated internet content like social media and YouTube, everything we understand about the internet today. Tim O'Reilly popularized that definition. You might not trust us on tech, but Tim is a legend of tech media.
There are both productive and unproductive bubbles. The dot-com bubble was productive. We built out internet infrastructure. There was immense value right from the get-go. Contrast that, say, with the 2009 financial crisis, which was purely a bunch of grifters. When that bubble popped, there was literally nothing of value left that had been created. With crypto, we should be asking ourselves, if and when this bubble pops, what will be left over that is still valuable? And I would say it's been long enough. All of the valuable use cases with crypto have basically been tied up with financial speculation. There may be things that happen with crypto that we're going to go, oh, wow, yes, that, but we're not there yet.
We also talked to Grady Booch. He developed some of the most widely used coding languages everything else is built on. He points to the political philosophy driving most Web 3.0 development.
All technology is political. Now, I'm not a politician, I'm not a sociologist, but looking at it from the outside, you can see that there are some extreme libertarian politics that have fueled the creation of all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin in particular. All cryptocurrencies are just the same old power structures, but with shiny new technology.
Crypto advocates are cementing their power by making alliances in Washington, D.C., in the same ways as the financial industry before them. Industry groups spent $9 million on lobbyists in 2021, quadruple what they spent in 2018, and they already have super PACs. One, Protect Our Future, has raised $14 million. Another, GMI PAC, plans to spend $20 million on state and federal elections in 2022. Members of Congress own crypto too, and the lack of regulation makes their ownership much more opaque than even normal stocks. The crypto lobby isn't coming, it's here, and it's already influencing elections and policy. So where is all of this going? A recent Citigroup report suggests crypto balances at the tipping point of mainstream acceptance or speculative implosion. Developments in the near term are likely to prove decisive, which is ominous. A $3 trillion industry that could either become a new way of life, growing to the size of or eclipsing the existing financial system, entangling itself with our governments and institutions along the way, or it could collapse entirely, losing millions of Americans their investments. In May of 2016, the global cryptocurrency market cap, that's the value of the entire industry, was $10 billion. By late 2021, it was near $3 trillion. And May 2022, down to $1.23 trillion. Crypto billionaires were united in their message: don't panic, don't sell, keep buying. And it could go further than crypto owners. Think of 2008. The shadow banking system was so entwined with the real one, both went down when one collapsed. Crypto elites are already working on entwining the industry into the traditional financial systems that they were trying to escape. There are crypto ETFs and crypto IRAs. Union, public and state pension funds are making crypto investments. So, ironically, crypto could get to the point where the industry relies on the type of government bailouts that they were supposedly formed to combat. So, what can be done realistically to protect the finances of working Americans and keep crypto elites from seizing even more power? What the progressives have been trying to do to the traditional financial industry all along. Rein them in, regulate them, and truly decentralize things. Break up all the wealth and power of the elites robbing America's working class. And when people hold a lot of cryptocurrency, it should be transparent and regulated as other forms of assets. And hey, while we're at it, let's strengthen all of those regulations against the traditional banking industry too. Crypto acolytes may have taken the wrong lesson from the last financial crisis, but it's not too late to stop them from causing the next one. Thank you for joining us in The Classroom, a series by More Perfect Union. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the channel.